can't be uninstalled, or even it can't be disabled as well. So we can't uninstall or disable this app. As you can see, there is no option. And also the other app, which is Google, you can see we can't uninstall this app from this mobile as well. I'm also using the latest version of Android here. As you can see, I'm using the Android version 10 here, and it will work on any Android mobile. So to remove the system app from your mobile, then first you have to know the package name of the Android app you want to remove. So for that you can use APK info app from the Play Store to know the package name. Just open the Google Play Store and search for the APK info here. Now scroll down here and install the APK info, this app, on your mobile. The direct link is in the description below. Now install this app. Hold on the info app of the Android, the system app from your, and it will work. As you can see, I'm using the Android version 10 here, and it will work on any Android mobile. So to remove the system app from your mobile, then first you have to know the package name of the Android app you want to remove. So for that you can use APK info app from the Play Store to know the package name. Just open the Google Play Store and search for the APK info here. Now scroll down here and install the APK info, this app, on your mobile. The direct link is in the description below. Now install this app, and after installing, open the app. Now here you can see the package name of every app below the name of the app. Now find the package name of the app you want to remove. So I want to remove this radio app from my mobile. Of the app you want to remove. So I want to remove this radio app from my mobile. Now install this app, and after installing, open the app. Now here you can see the package name of every app below the name of the app. Now find the package name of the app you want to remove. So I want to remove this radio app from my mobile. Now on the APK info app, search for that app here. You want to remove name of the app. After installing, open the app. Now here you can see the package name of every app below the name of the app. Direct link is in the description below. Now just copy this package name from here, or you can click on it and you can see the package name here. Now to uninstall the system app, you have to connect your Android mobile to PC. We have to use PC to remove the system app. Now before connecting your mobile to PC, make sure to enable the USB debugging on your mobile. Open settings and then go to the about phone. Now open settings and then go to the about phone. Now open the software information here and then tap on build the USB debugging. Now scroll down here and enable the USB debugging here. Make sure to turn this on. Now after enabling the USB debugging, connect your mobile to PC. Now I am switching to my PC. So this is my PC. So first of all, you have to download the system app installer for PC. Just open your browser and visit this link, also available in the description below. Scroll down here and then you will find the two links here. Just click on any link here. Now wait 10 seconds here and then the download link will open automatically. Now on this 10 seconds here, and then the download link will open automatically. Now on this page, scroll down here and then click on this free download button. Now I am switching to my PC. So this is my PC. So first of all, you have to download the system app and installer for PC. Just open your browser and visit this link, also available in the description below. Scroll down here and then you will find the two links here. Just click on any link here. Now wait 10 seconds here and then the download link will open automatically. Now on this page, scroll down here and then click on this free download button. Now again scroll down here, wait 5 seconds and then fill this captcha here. And after filling this, then click on the create your link button. Now finally on this page, click on this click here to download button. Now the download will start automatically. As you can see, the download has been started, and now you can close this page. And after downloading, open the download folder where you have downloaded the file. Now I am moving this to the desktop. Now extract this using any extracting software like WinRAR. Right click on it and click on extract.
Hi, this is Jasmine from the YouTube channel A Long Time Ago. Today I'll be guest narrating for useful charts in order to show you the family tree of the Anglo-Saxon monarchs. In Matt's video on the British monarchy, he started with Alfred the Great and then traced the line all the way back down to Queen Elizabeth II. But we can actually trace the royal line several hundred years further back. You see, prior to the emergence of the Kingdom of England, Alfred's ancestors ruled over a kingdom known as the Kingdom of Wessex. Wessex was just one of 7 Anglo-Saxon kingdoms that existed in England prior to, well, England. So today I'm going to show you the family tree of some of the most important monarchs who ruled during the Anglo-Saxon period. Let's start with some background. From 43 to 410 CE, the area now known as England was a province of the Roman Empire called Britannia, and it was mostly inhabited by a group of Celtic people known as the Britons. However, in the year 406, things started to change. In that year, Germanic armies crossed the Rhine River for the first time and started to take over the Western Roman Empire. By the year 410, the Romans were no longer able to keep troops in Britain and therefore abandoned the province. Sometime after this, Germanic tribes started to invade the shores of Great Britain, although there is evidence that some Germanic peoples arrived before this time as well. These Germanic invaders came from three main tribes: the Angles, the Saxons, and the Jutes. It is from the Angles and the Saxons that we get the term Anglo-Saxon, and from the Angles that we get the word English. Over time, through a process of migration and assimilation, the language and culture of the area went from being primarily Brittonic to being primarily Anglo-Saxon, with many Britons being pushed into what is today Wales. Eventually, 7 main Anglo-Saxon kingdoms emerged: the Anglic kingdoms of Northumbria, Mercia and East Anglia, the Saxon kingdoms of Wessex, Essex and Sussex, meaning West Saxons, East Saxons and South Saxons, and the Jutish kingdom of Kent. This is why this period is also sometimes called the Heptarchy, meaning the 7 kings. In reality, though, there was never a time in which all 7 kingdoms were equally strong. For example, throughout much of the Anglo-Saxon period, Mercia was the dominant power, and then eventually it was Wessex. Okay, let's now return to the family tree. At the top you can see the names of the 7 kings who are credited with having established the royal lines associated with each of the 7 kingdoms. On this chart, yellow represents the 3 Anglic kingdoms, red the 3 Saxon kingdoms, and purple the single Jutish kingdom. However, please note that the coats of arms you see above each line did not actually exist at the time. Heraldry wasn't really a thing until 600 years later, during the High Middle Ages. So each of the shields you see here are simply later inventions that were attributed back to the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms, long after they were gone. Another later invention that was attributed back to the early Anglo-Saxon kings was the title of Bretwalda, which literally means Britain ruler, and which was kind of a similar title to that of High King. Although the title probably didn't exist initially, later chronicles assigned it to the various Anglo-Saxon kings, who were thought to have been the dominant ones. So, for example, the first 4 Bretwaldas were said to have byn Alla of Sussex, Cheolin of Wessex, Athelbert of Kent, and Radwald of East Anglia. King Athelbert of Kent is notable in that he was the first Anglo-Saxon king to convert to Christianity. This was largely due to the fact that he married a Merovingian princess, the woman now known as Saint Berta. However, his actual conversion is credited to Saint Augustine of Canterbury, not to be confused with the more famous Saint Augustine of Hippo. Note that the current leader of the Church of England is known as the Archbishop of Canterbury, a title that traces its origins back to the Augustine who converted Athelbert. Athelbert was also supposedly a direct descendant of Hengist, Hengist and Horsa being the 2 legendary brothers who were said to have led the initial Anglo-Saxon invasion. For the remainder of this video, we are going to focus on the 3 largest Anglo-Saxon kingdoms: Mercia, Wessex and Northumbria. Let's start with Northumbria. Northumbria was originally 2 kingdoms, Bernicia and Deira. However, Bernicia and Deira eventually merged due to a rather messy sequence of events. To explain, let's start around the year 600, which happens to be around the time that King Athelbert of Kent became the first Anglo-Saxon king to convert to Christianity. Around this time, the king of Bernicia was a man named Athelthryth, and the king of Deira was a man named Athelric. The exact details are unclear, but it seems that Athelthryth eventually conquered Deira, perhaps killing Athelric in the process. This led to Athelric's brother Edwin being exiled, where he eventually wound up in the court of King Radwald of East Anglia. Athelthryth thus became the first king of both Bernicia and Deira. However, after about a decade of ruling over both kingdoms, Athelthryth was attacked by the armies of Radwald. Radwald killed Athelthryth and placed his ally Edwin on the throne instead, thus making Edwin the second king to rule both Bernicia. Around the same time, King Athelbert of Kent died, leaving Radwald as the most powerful king and hence the new Bretwalda. I should also point out that Radwald is thought to have been the owner of the Sutton Hoo helmet, an ornately decorated helmet found in a ship grave during an archaeological excavation in 1939. Anyway, Edwin eventually married the daughter of Athelbert of Kent, and as a result, he too converted to Christianity. When Radwald died, Edwin became the 5th Bretwalda, but fighting continued between the kingdoms, and eventually Edwin was killed by King Penda of Mercia, who had allied with the Welsh king Cadwallon. At this point, Bernicia and Deira were once again split into two kingdoms, with Edwin's kinsman Osric taking Deira and Athelfrith taking Bernicia. Note that Athelfrith had actually married Edwin's sister, Atcha, and thus Eanfrith was Edwin's nephew. However, the Welsh king Cadwallon continued to attack Bernicia and Deira, and eventually managed to kill both Osric and Eanfrith. Later chroniclers would blame this on the fact that both Osric and Eanfrith had reverted their lands back to paganism. The stage was thus set for the 6th Bretwalda, Eanfrith's brother Oswald. During Edwin's reign, both Eanfrith and Oswald had been exiled to Scotland, where they converted to Christianity. But unlike Eanfrith, who dropped his new faith upon becoming king, Oswald remained Christian. According to legend, he stuck a large wooden cross in the ground before a battle against Cadwallon, and for this reason was able to win back both Bernicia and Deira. Whether or not this is actually true, what is true is that during his reign, Christianity. After his death, Bernicia and Deira were split for one final time. Oswin, son of Osric, took Deira, Oswald took Bernicia, but killed and managed to Deira. Thus, in the year 654, Bernicia and Deira were formally merged to create the Kingdom of Northumbria. And in order to cement the deal, Oswy married Eanflad, the daughter of Saint Edwin. Thus, Oswy became the 7th and final Bretwalda. How main thing Oswy and his death at the Battle of Wynward is Christian England. Oswy was followed by of Eanflad, and then by Arith, a son, Finn, sister of King, and together with her had Osred, and possibly Osric was the last king from the main line of Northumbrian kings, and passed to various more distant relatives, starting with Ceolwulf. It was in Northumbria during the reign of Ceolwulf that the famous monk known as the Venerable Bede lived. Bede's many writings are arguably the most important sources for the Anglo-Saxon period. In fact, he is considered to be one of the most important historians from early Christian Europe. Okay, at this point let's turn our attention to the Kingdom of Mercia, which was located just below Northumbria. The word Mercia comes from the word march, which at the time simply meant the borderlands. In Mercia's case, the name likely referred to the border between the Anglo-Saxons and the Britons. So initially its rulers were simply the leaders of the border folk, but eventually the area evolved into a kingdom that was officially known as Mercia. Their line starts with a man named Ichel, who, unlike all other Anglo-Saxon kings, actually had royal roots back on the continent. He is said to have been the son of the last Anglic king of Germany. However, please keep in mind that the early genealogy for all of these families is a bit sketchy, and therefore should be taken with a grain of salt. For example, most of the Anglo-Saxon genealogies list all of these kings as going all the way back to the god Woden, who is known in Norse mythology as Odin. The first really powerful king of Mercia was Penda, who I've already mentioned as being the last major pagan king from any of the 7 Anglo-Saxon kingdoms. However, after Penda's death, his sons converted to Christianity. Peada was the first to rule, but he did was split for one final time. Oswin, son of Osric, took Deira, Oswald took Bernicia.
Hello everyone, my name's Yusef, and welcome to Animize. If there's one truism about anime opening and closing songs we can all agree on, it's their eclectic nature. Obviously, Anisong has its trends, but In the grand scheme of things, genres are represented, which is part of them. Then that among city, that an enormous OPs and EDs same chord progression. No, seriously, progression. Today, a full chord progression in Japanese composition in general. The progression we'll be looking at today, 5/6 minor, or a flat 6, flat 7 everywhere in the anime OP world. You probably noticed I gave the progression because the ending on. Keep in mind that every song is technically a different situation. So without some examples.
この思いを今日にはまだ人生ないでしょう君だよ君なんだよ教えてくれた
Melody and clarity, commonly used variation chord progression. So progression is at its core 3-chord progression, a fourth to change how it sounds and functions. Within the common variation by far is the 4. The 4-5-6-1 is even more common than the 4-5. As we previously saw, the 3-chord music in even measures. One of them is held. What's not 5-6-1 though, that since it's a 4-chord progression effect, but the difference between these two progressions is also in the 6 is a minor feel in general. However, jumps to chord, and so preserve. Let's listen to a few more. Okay, a 4-5-6 progression, but like we saw at the X1. In other words, can we produce a 4-chord of the 4-5-6, which means the minor quality at the end? Sure. In that case, we can use the 4. Or less stable lacks a final resting point. Instead, the end is used to want to go for. So it can be a minor 7 chord, or even a version of the 1, which technically turns it into a 4-5-6-1, but chord is on the 3, I'd place it within this category. Bring them together, one after the other. In a way, it allows the listener on a bit of a journey. Is broken. The following examples are of patterns we've discussed.
誰かを愛することなんてできるけなくてだけど誰か愛されたくて
Progression is so positive. As for me, I see the prevalence of the natural evolution of two very popular and indeed important progressions in music history. The 4-5-1